Welcome to round 4 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of August 3rd. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
As moms of teens and young adults, we've survived those little kid days, yet we're still rethinking the decisions we've made all through our kids' lives and worrying about what's going on right now. Today's Thursday, which means it's time to give into our obsessing, and today, like so many parents, we're obsessing about distance learning and how to help our kids do better with it, since it seems likely that at least some of school in the fall will be from a distance, if not all of it. I am delighted to really not have to worry about this at all because my kids are out of school. Yay! So tell our listeners, Catherine and Nicole, all the great ways you've found to help kids with distance learning. Go.
Catherine?
Well, yeah. I mean, in the spring, it was not pretty. So far for this fall, my high school student will be going in person. But as you can imagine, I'm not really counting on that being a permanent state. So I definitely am looking for ways to do better with the distance learning. I mean, in the spring, for one class where I discovered that my intervention was needed in time, this was for French class. And so since I speak French, I was able to we did it together. You know, we sat together and pulled up the list of instructions and lessons. And it was usually like, watch this video and then take this little online quiz or activity or, you know, like a little vocabulary game or whatever it was. So we just kind of did that together. But obviously that's not going to be feasible for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm definitely worried. One of the things that is happening this summer is that my son is doing online driver's ed, and that I'm sort of looking at as a test case for the fall.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's had mixed results. You know, because there's some built-in motivation in terms of, do you want to drive?
Right.
But that hasn't solved it entirely for us. You know, as I told you guys online, I just was like, okay, tomorrow we're going to get Starbucks and you're going to do some lessons. And that actually worked.
Oh.
So
Bribery.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot of like dollars and calories for for the whole entire course, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Because I think part of it was just like getting started. So I'm hoping that that little bump will be part of, you know, will help him keep going. So I liked what they're doing in medical school, though, Nicole.
Yeah.
They know their audience. Yeah. So my son's been in orientation the last couple of days, and the hours have been pretty long because there's a lot to cover, and there's, you know, lots of information. And so I guess one of the ways in which they're trying to sustain interest in information is that they've assigned the students a number, and throughout the lecture, they'll say this number. And if your number is called, then you win a gift card.
If you're paying attention.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. If, you know, so it's like Starbucks. So they get gift cards from the sounds of it. So it's I thought that was quite an interesting way of keeping kids tuned in, or young adults tuned in, or adults. And so, that's kind of a cool little, you know, trick to do. I mean, I don't know how parents, I mean, you could do that with your son, this very high schooler. So,
Yeah.
Did you have them like work for points and then use the points to get something? I used to do that with my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually did that. It was just last year leading up to last summer, because he was trying to earn a trip, and rather than having him earn money, which would just be like me paying him money that I would pay to the trip, you know what I mean? Like it was just, it was a point system. So yeah, we may need something like that again. We'll see. So, because, like as with Nicole's son, like it's just harder, I think, to pay attention when you're in these very long online sessions. And that's part of the reason why we opted for in person for my son for this school year, because the distance learning option, there were 2 distance learning options, but one was basically like the spring, which no, that was a definite fail. But the other one was, it would have involved very long classes that were delivered electronically. And I just felt like that was going to be too hard for everybody. So,
yeah.
I mean, better than the way it was in the spring when it was asynchronous. But still, I felt like it was a lot to ask of a kid of any age, to sit and have like a 3-hour class online. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah. I would have trouble staying
alert. Any of us would. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's tough, and it's definitely a conversation that I'm hearing a lot about in my world, in terms of getting kids to stay motivated and pay attention. So I see a lot of ways in which teachers can provide different lessons, and so I feel like there's more of a push for teachers to keep kids engaged. I mean, they already know that anyway, right? Like they're aware that the attention span isn't there. But yeah, for the parents, I feel like there's a real need for some ideas and in terms of getting their kids motivated. I mean, I'm facing that too. My daughter is going online for the fall with her university, and it's definitely not her preferred method of instruction. So one incentive that we're using is that we're clearing out a part of a room, and she's going to sort of create her own workspace so that she's out of her bedroom and then away from the kitchen, but she's in her own area and she can decorate it the way she wants to. And that's kind of a little incentive that we've given her. But I don't know, that'll work to get her in there, but I don't know if it'll work to keep her in there. So we'll see. But yeah, so we're trying to do the whole, here's your own space, like your learning space.
Right.
But yeah, it's tough because, I would struggle. That's for sure.
I mean, is this online learning, is it like a lecture where the teacher is there live on the screen, or is it just stuff that you have to get through, material that you have to get through? Because I know when my son took online classes in college, it wasn't like he was watching a lecture. A bunch of stuff was dumped online and he had to make his way through it.
I think in the spring, it was more like the second thing. I think in the fall here, they're saying it's going to be more like there's a camera in the classroom.
Yeah.
And they did say that the kids wouldn't like see each other or even see the teacher with the camera. It would be more like they could hear the teacher talking and they could see the teacher's screen. But it's not quite like they're sitting in the classroom just observing it from afar. I
mean, I think that it would be easier to pay attention if you were watching the teacher, wouldn't it? But of course, then it would also put pressure on the teacher to keep it engaging, which, I mean, it really...
which they have to do anyway.
Should be their job, right? They should be figuring out how to keep the kids paying attention. It shouldn't be the parents' job to do that. But if you're just droning, it's just a voice droning while you look at a screen.
Yeah.
And the teacher can't see the kids and the kids can't see the teacher. That's not optimum. Surely there's better technology than that.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't. Right.
Because I think of these situations where, Nicole, you've probably heard of these too, where there's a child with some sort of disability or illness that they can't be in the classroom, but they hook up a camera so that the child can see the other kids and the kids can see the child and the teacher can see everybody. And that seems like what you would need here. But I guess there's a camera. Maybe they can set up something complex for one student that they couldn't necessarily do for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of get it in some regards because we're so used to, as a teacher, we're so used to delivering lessons in person, right? Like not many of us have that experience of doing it online. So when it comes to online, it's like, oh, what's possible, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, and there are many, many, many ways to engage kids online. Definitely has to be for shorter durations.
Yeah.
There has to be more breaks, but I think teachers are just starting to kind of get into that mode. And I think as time goes along, there'll be more creative, engaging lessons online as more and more teachers become aware of them. But yeah, it's, it's a whole new way of learning and teaching. And it's, it's hard to just flip the switch.
They could just every 25 minutes get a gym teacher on there to lead everybody in exercises.
Exactly. Everybody up.
Yep.
Start moving.
Right.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, there has to be some real music and movement, and it's not just sitting and clicking through a bunch of slides, right? Like there has to be.
Yeah.
But then how does the teacher track that? And it's a whole different way. I mean,
right. If the kids just refuse to stand up when they say stand up, what can they do?
Yeah. I mean, I guess the teacher, they could have if it's a live session, the teacher could have them, of course, have the camera on, and they could be, earning a mark or a grade for standing up.
Right.
Right.
That seems like what they need to do. And it should be on the school system to figure that stuff out, not the parents.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be able to, we shouldn't have to be, standing to the side with a gift card to tempt the kid to do it. The professionals should figure out how to make that work.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think they need, a little bit of grace in terms of time to get it together because, parents don't have the luxury of time.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I was more sympathetic in the spring than I will be in the fall for the time argument.
Yeah. No, I agree. But I feel like, the more, and plus teachers are coming to terms with it too. Like, no, this isn't just a Band-Aid. Like, this isn't just temporary. This is something that we're going to have to do for, longer than what we anticipated. So we have to, they really think about how we're going to manage this.
Yeah.
So definitely it's not an easy time because I understand both sides of the story. So anyway.
I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah. And good luck, Catherine.
Thank you.
And I'm sure I will keep you all up to date on what's happening my way.
Oh, yes. Well, as you guys find good strategies, we'll share them.
Yeah.
And as you have bad experiences, we'll share those also.
Definitely. So that's it for today's round 4. Tune in tomorrow when we'll share our roundup of things we've been using or enjoying lately that we think deserve a shout out. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.